Over 10 lakh people take the UPSC exam every year and only 900 actually get in. That's about 0.08%. Yet, India is completely obsessed with UPSC. Why?
ये good salary और status
of stability
to acquire power.
But what's the real cost of this obsession? To decode why India's obsessed with UPSC, our story starts with Neeraj, a UPSC aspirant from Muzaffarpur, Bihar. Now Neeraj is 22 and he just graduated from Patna as a BA student. His father works as a driver and earns 20,000 rupees per month to support his family. But the problem is that 42% of all undergraduates in India do not have the required skills to get a job. While people could become doctors, engineers, lawyers, or all of these other professions, the problem is very simple. Either they don't have good colleges which can train them to become those professionals, or two, they just don't have the money required to pay the fees to actually get there. Most Indians select a degree like BA, and that's why for this skill set, a government job actually makes sense. It's about moving your family out of poverty into a more comfortable life. It's about believing in the fact that you can really work hard and despite not knowing English, you can still lead a great life. And this is exactly why Neeraj moves to Old Rajendra Nagar in Delhi to become an IAS officer. But after 1 year of preparation, he fails.
Remember, life is a race. अगर तेज नहीं भागोगे तो कोई तुम्हें कुचल के आगे निकल जाएगा.
Now, Neeraj still has a few attempts left, so it's completely fine. And how he reaches his goal is the true lesson of this episode, and I'll obviously tell you that in the end. But clearing the UPSC exam is not easy. In 2022, about 11.5 lakh people attempted this exam, about 13,000 people cleared the prelims, and about 2,500 actually cleared the mains. And in the end, you had about 900 people which were appointed as officers in the government. So the passing rate is 0.08%. I wanted to look at this number. It's a really small percentage because if you looked at, say, IITs, it's 0.5%. Really hard also, but Harvard and Stanford are more than 3%. This makes UPSC one of the hardest exams to crack in the world. If you think that was bad, take a look at the UPSC syllabus. If you have prepped for this, please tell us your experience in the comments because this does not end. So you're basically expected to know everything, which means aspirants are spending 15 hours a day just reading. So the morning starts with the Hindu, uske baad thodi si chai, then you go for coaching classes. Puri raat and evening is spent in the library, and then you have no time for anything else because your life revolves around clearing that paper. Now let's talk about money. Not earning, but expenses. So people move from small cities to larger cities like Delhi to actually get coached. Coaching costs between 50,000 and 2 lakh rupees. But that's not it. You have 8,000 to 15,000 rupees spent per month in just living expenses. And a lot of people's backgrounds don't allow for these kinds of expenses. So they have to have a part-time job. The story of Manoj Kumar from 12th Fail is actually a reality for many aspirants. But in Neeraj's case, his family could actually afford to send him to Delhi. But for all the other fees and expenses, his dad had to use his life savings to actually fund it. And this is the truth for tens of thousands of people, maybe lakhs of people, who are selling their family homes, their ancestral land, even selling their jewelry and using their entire life savings just to make sure their child can go and has an attempt to become an officer. Then comes a very interesting problem that you only see after you're inside the UPSC Chakravyuh. Imagine studying for an ocean-like syllabus which you can never really complete properly. Then you have 10 lakh people competing for just 900 seats and the probability is less than 0.1%. It'll wreak havoc on your self-confidence and what you think about your future. I mean, imagine this. You graduate from a college at 22, then move on to an entirely different city and start prepping for UPSC. Your family invests all their money they've ever earned so you could study. But after so much effort and preparation, you fail again and again and again.
फिर रह गया यार.
These exams have consumed 4 years of Neeraj's life. Now, at this point, he spent way too much time, and one more attempt, maybe he can get through. Or does he pick up the guts to actually try a completely different path because he's wasting the best years of his life? Well, at this point, all aspirants use a special tool, and that's called hope.
हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता, गीत नया।
Neeraj has hope, which means he keeps going. He wants to take the exams again and again because success seems really, really close. And the question is, why doesn't he just switch to a different exam or a different opportunity and change the course of his life? There are 3 things at play over here. 1. The exam trap. The way that the exam trap is designed is that as soon as you finish one exam, you have to prepare for the next because it's right around the corner. This Chakravyuh never stops ending and you have no time to actually sit and reflect. Ki hua kya? Also, preparing for a different kind of exam has a different syllabus, a different mindset, a different way to attempt those questions. So you just don't do it because UPSC requires focus. The second is sunk cost fallacy. You spend 2 to 4 years prepping for this, doing a good job and being completely immersed and disciplined. So you think, 4 marks की तो बात है, एक और attempt कर लूंगा, pass हो जाऊंगा. This fallacy is exactly like when you go and watch a really boring movie and halfway through you can go and leave, but you don't because you sat through halfway. Let's finish the rest even though you're not really enjoying it. At least the popcorn's good. The third point, it's civil services. I mean, think about the perks that a government servant gets. He has a decent salary, he gets a chauffeur-driven car, a house, and so many perks I can't even list it in this video. And people think all I have to do is pass this exam and I'll get everything. My life will be sorted. So one more attempt is probably worth it. And we have tons of examples of doctors, engineers, and even lawyers leaving those jobs and attempting UPSC to become officers because of the power and prestige it offers. And then we have another villain in this story, and that are toxic success stories. I'm sure you've seen headlines like this. Who doesn't love a rags to riches story? It's like you're watching an actual movie. Yaar, wo kahin se nahi aaya tha and look where he is today. All through this. You have social media hyping this up. You have movies hyping this up. You even have relatives and sometimes parents hyping this up. Not to mention those coaching centers which are saying, once you get in, look what will happen. But when was the last time you heard about an actual officer talking about his real problems in the workplace? I mean, read these headlines. These jobs are not easy. But coaching institutes won't talk about this because it's a 58,000 crore industry which is growing, and their job is admissions and not talking about how tough this job is. So people fall for all of these motivations and in the end attempt UPSC again.
हाँ बेटा, परीक्षा क्लियर हुई कि नहीं?
इंटरव्यू में रह गए पापा।
और होंगे को ठेंगा दिखा कर खिलखिलाते जाएंगे।
It's Neeraj's last attempt. He can't fail again. All the money his parents spent over the last 6 years, the money that could have been used to get better food, visit the doctor when his mother got sick, all that money will suddenly become purposeless. They say knowledge will never go to waste. But what will you do with that knowledge if it doesn't convert to some kind of income? Most companies care about practical skills and experience and execution, not history, civics, and GK. And just like Neeraj, we have lakhs of aspirants who finish all their attempts. They're now 28 to 32 years old, and they've been dependent on their parents for the longest time. While their friends have been working for years now, these aspirants haven't reached anywhere in their lives. But thankfully in 2025, UPSC has included a new rule where they'll publicly show your name and all of your information if you passed the exam but didn't clear the interview. This means you will get some preference for all the work that you did. So the question over here is this: is all this effort worth it? Well, the answer is yes and no. For people who don't have a lot of options, who are looking for grey and blue collar work, this actually would make sense because the prestige, the money, everything seems worth it. But for people who actually have other options in their lives, like private companies, etc., perhaps you shouldn't be spending 6 years on something like this. Having said that, even after all these problems, all these issues, all those low probabilities, it all seems
हेलो पापा।
हाँ बेटा।
मैं IAS बन गया।